Hey guys, this is Saad Akbar and you're watching Wasser Explains. Today on my show, I've got a really cool topic. We're going to be discussing this.
Sit. I would just eat until I'm dead, probably.
The poor guy's given up, you know what I mean? He has nothing left inside him. He's okay with his current situation.
A normal day for me is wake up around 12, figure out something I'm gonna eat immediately. TV, video games, bed. It's not a lot of activity.
He does not want to live in the same reality as us because his reality is more comfortable for him.
It's hot in Georgia. And all my clothing is restricting and tight. So I just sitting there naked, free as can be, and no one bothers me, door shut, we're good.
He's clearly given up all shame, right? So he sits there naked all day, not wearing any clothes. And again, this comes from acceptance of his reality, right? No normal person would accept this, but he has somehow accepted this.
I'm just safe, and video games are where I escape. I'm accepted in all those virtual reality worlds and the gaming world I'm in. No one sees me. No one sees me. That is my outside. That is my world that I can be the Casey I want to be, but not be judged on my weight.
Okay, I mean, this is proving my point, right? So he wants to escape his reality by playing video games. In that world, no one sees him. No one judges him for his weight. He doesn't have to function. He doesn't have to earn money. He doesn't have to eat healthy. He doesn't have to get married. He doesn't have to do any of those things. And because of that, he's just very comfortable in the situation he's in.
I never would have thought at 34 I'd be living with my father and I'd have no job, have no real money, and just be playing video games all day and eating.
Okay, well, I think he's kind of a bum right now because I believe that there's a certain age where you can rely on your parents and then your parents grow old, right? So at that point, what you want to be doing is you want to be figuring out your shit. This is all coming from that acceptance. It's all originating from the fact that he's accepted his situation and he's okay with it, and he doesn't want to make a change.
My mom said to live in this house, you have to have a job. So she kicked me out, and the only place I had left to go was my father's. So I went there. Basically, his one thing that made me happy was food. So we just ate like kings, but like in the worst way. Pizzas, chicken, Japanese food, takeout. I mean, me and my dad would get hibachi delivered, sushi by the barrel. I mean, just anything you wanted to eat, we were getting.
Mom is clearly right. Mom is perfectly fine. I mean, if you want to live in this house, well, get a job, right? But to live with dad is easy. So what does that tell you about his character? What that tells you is that he's okay with taking the easy way out.
Man, this isn't even a real game. Why are you not just pushing these people with me?
Casey, I got your food.
Oh, okay.
All right. They got the drinks. I don't know which one's tea, which one's Dr. Pepper. You have to look in and see. He'll tell me what to get him, and I come right back a lot of times in case that's too much food. But I'll get it for him and bring it to the house and put it right in front of him. He's my son. I love him. I love to make him happy, you know, and food's got a lot to do with his happiness, but he's like an addict.
All right, dad is clearly the enabler, right? So I believe that this is a very fundamental aspect of how someone gets to this point. Without dad, who would shovel food in your mouth, right?
But I'll get it for him.
And he's probably emotionally abusing him at the same time as well.
He's like an addict.
Probably makes him more emotional due to which he eats more, right? So it's a vicious cycle of how this person's gonna get fatter and fatter and fatter because he has no way out now.
But I'll get it for him.
The question is, how does someone get to this point? So a lot of the times, whenever we're looking for fitness advice, we look at people like this.
Oh, I can't train to failure because I'm going to get hit. Pussies!
But the problem with that is that this guy has never been fat in his life. So he has no idea
Because you're fat!
circumstantially what a person feels like when they're in that type of a situation. But these guys, gurus, they give out advice from their perspective. But the thing is, they've always been fit. So yeah, it's difficult for them to understand how a person would feel when they're in that sort of a condition.
I'm just really disappointed. Strange, I know, because I'm doing this for a purpose, but I'm just disappointed with myself. 15 years of training has just come undone in 2 months. Can't believe it.
The physical aspect where you become overweight, there's so much more to it. There's so much more in the thinking, how you feel. It's all the emotional side that's the killer. I'm already at my 120 kilos. I've been living like this for a while. And I've absolutely had enough. I'm stuffed. This is the worst I've felt ever in my life. And any overweight person that says they're totally happy, I really question that. It's not the be-all and end-all being fit, but it goes a long way to making you happy. There's no doubt.
So the question is, how does someone actually get to this point? I believe the first thing starts with building excuses, right? Becoming complacent. I mean, in my journey 4 years ago, I was pretty fit, I guess. I was doing a couple of competitions. I ran Spartan. I was doing a couple of things. And then right after I met my wife, I started making up excuses to skip gym. And I think this is where it all started. And I believe that people become complacent over time and they start reprioritizing things that are important.
And the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow.
I believe this quote perfectly sums up what I'm trying to explain.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
If you understand that life is difficult, it's emotional, and it's a battle every day in and out, right? It is about life beating you down and trying to keep you there.
You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
This is about resilience, right? It's about consistency. And a lot of us lack that sort of discipline. We'll go to the gym, we'll come up with these New Year's resolutions, but one weekend we're already faltering, we're already skipping gym, we're already skipping healthy eating. And the fact is, it needs to be a lifestyle. I was able to gain this weight over years and years of accumulation, right? How is it that it's gonna go out in a week or 2 weeks?
Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Blame shifting, right? So a lot of people, fat people, when they're in this situation, right, where they've gotten to a point where they can't look back and say, oh, well, I'm 30 kilos, 50 kilos, how the hell am I gonna drop that? When they get to that point, they start blame shifting, all right? You were the one serving me food. You have unhealthy habits. And because of that, I got fat too. And I think this sort of blame shifting is really bad because what you're doing is you're saying that I'm not tough enough, and that's fine, but it's actually you that's the problem. Truth is, if you're strong mentally, there's absolutely nothing that you cannot accomplish, right? This guy, Ivan, has been working out for over 2 years now, and he hasn't missed a single day, right? He does heavy weights, he does squats, he does lunges, he does deadlifts. All of those movements are movements where you can injure yourself very, very easily. He never stops. He never skips a day. He never falters. And that is the secret formula. I believe consistency, resilience, and being very strong-headed in this is absolutely the most critical thing. And people talk about motivation, right? But here's the thing though, motivation is garbage.
We have the ability to go in such a space if you're willing to suffer, and I mean suffer. Your brain and your body, once connected together, can do anything. And this 30 miles was the life-changing moment. I was out of it. I was in the worst pain in my entire life. I was, to me, on the brink of death. And I was able to chunk this 30 damn miles into small pieces. I was so driven, and I'm not gonna say motivated because motivation's crap. Motivation comes and goes. When you're driven, whatever's in front of you will get destroyed.
Now, I translate drive into discipline, right? So if you're disciplined with working out every day, if you're disciplined with eating healthy every day, if you're disciplined and not cheating, not faltering, chances are you're gonna get back into shape. Another thing is, I feel like people trying to lose weight are very, very short-sighted, right? That's a huge issue in itself. And that the problem is that they look at the wall and not the brick.
When I was 11 years old, he decided he wanted a new wall on the front of his shop. He thought it would be a good project for my younger brother, Harry, and me. Every day for nearly a year, my brother and I would go to my father's shop after school to work on that wall. There were so many times I remember looking at that hole totally discouraged. But Daddy-O wouldn't let us stop. Stop thinking about the damn wall, he said. Your job is to lay this brick perfectly. Then move on to the next brick. Don't be worrying about no wall. Your only concern is one brick.
So they look at how many pounds they have to shed, how many kilos they've got to shed, but they don't look at this particular workout. So the wall is a problem. Yes, it will be dealt with in the future. All you got to look at is the brick, right? Putting this brick as perfectly as you can. And that sort of mental fortitude is really, really important. And making change superficially or externally is not going to work. So if you try to act like a healthier person for a couple of days, it's going to shut off because the reality always comes out. Question is, are you a greedy person? Right? Are you someone who's gluttonous? Are you a lazy person by nature? Are you a sloth? Right? If these things are a part of your character, chances are you're always going to be unhealthy. So if you want to make a change, then make it from within. All right, this is the silent killer, guys. Vegetable oil. Right? I have my qualms, my problems with vegetable oil.
As consumption of vegetable oils exploded, rates of obesity and diabetes happened to explode with it.
Vegetable oil, or any oil for that matter, when heated, reacts with oxygen in the air. The thing with most vegetable oils is that they become toxic after going through that heating process.
There's so little oil per ear of corn that it takes 98 ears or 12,000 calories of corn to get you 5 tablespoons of corn oil. 625 grapes or 2,800 sunflower seeds will get you 5 tablespoons of grapeseed or sunflower oil. So a long industrial process is dedicated to ripping oil out of these tiny seeds. As mentioned earlier, polyunsaturated vegetable fats oxidize very easily. Oxidize simply means to react with oxygen. This is how metals rust, and this is why meat that you leave out turns brown after a while. Oxidation changes the structure and properties of fats for the worse.
And then you start feeling more and more lethargic and lazy, and you have low energy. And now that energy is exactly my problem with vegetable oil. I've found that when I am working on vegetable oil, I'm very lethargic. I don't feel like getting up, waking up, moving around. But when I'm off of the vegetable oil, let's say using things like beef tallow, coconut oil, sometimes butter, virgin olive oil, but not heated, just on salads or, on hummus or something like that, that helps me a lot.
If you want to stop being tired all the time, you need to activate the anti-tiredness neurotransmitter. Orexin A is in fact a peptide/neurotransmitter that our bodies release naturally in certain conditions. So it can give us some hints on how to have more energy throughout the day.
And now here's the cool part about this. The moment you start losing weight, your energy actually increases.
And when people lose weight, their orexin goes up. This might be obvious, but if you're feeling more fatigued than usual, it might be a sign that you're gaining weight. And if you want to be more alert throughout the day, maybe you could stand to lose a few pounds.
Well, that's easy for you to say, you preachy egg-headed institute guy.
So if you are trying to lose weight, then the good news is you're going to become more and more energetic as you go forward, and that energy is going to keep you going. So it just is a matter of just staying within this and keep pushing. How did he go from this to this? So the first one, if you accept your reality, you're never gonna rise again. Never settle, keep fighting. Vegetable oil and all these vegetable oil foods, high glucose foods, sugary foods, they make you lethargic. They take away from your energy. You want to be working counter to that. So you want to take in a lot of protein or very light foods like soup, broth, vegetables that make you very, very mobile and energetic. The more energy you have, the more you are going to want to go to the gym. The more lethargic you are, you're reducing your chances of working out and being active. If you have an enabler like your mother, father, sister, brother, uncle, right? What you want to do is you want to get rid of that person. You want to be able to look at your daily regime and see what kind of habits you're harboring, right? If your habits are very, very unhealthy, you want to get rid of them and start replacing them with new ones, right? Over time, what will happen is new loops will form, and then these habit loops will enable you to get into a healthier lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you like my channel, then please subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.